So, in an effort to create more healing and a safe space for moms to detox from mom shame, I have decided that every Saturday I will release a reel and a longer video for those who are interested to discuss a topic that I have, or an incident that I have felt shame around and that I'm choosing to let go. Part of what motivated this is um, research by Brene Brown that talks about shame and the three ingredients that um, promote shame. And the hesitation there was I was shaming myself for a second because I pause a lot, letting that go. Three ingredients for shame: secrecy, silence, and judgment. Well, secrecy and silence to me are basically the same, so I'm not sure what the distinction is there. Judgment, I'm going to quote from you for you from Eleanor Roosevelt, where she says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your permission." So, really, when we feel judged by others, the only way that that can have any impact on us is if we are first judging ourselves. So, if we let go of the idea of shame by putting out the secrets and refusing to be silent about it, which is what this video series is about, and choosing not to judge ourselves, then if other people judge us, that's their business. And I get that that feels scary because it makes you feel like you're going to be disconnected from your tribe. But as each of us comes out and shares what it is we are feeling ashamed about, and we recognize that other people have those similar experiences and those same unreasonable expectations of themselves, pretty soon it won't even be a thing. Somebody has to be the first to be brave and come out and say, I'm letting this go. So I don't know that I'm not saying that I'm the first, but I'm definitely going to join that group of whoever's already ventured out there and say, okay, I'm done hiding the shame. I'm done being silent about it. I'm done judging myself for being a mom who has made some mistakes. So the story that I'm going to share with you about my own history of mom shame comes from many years ago. I was dealing with my daughter who was dying of cancer, and things were pretty intense, as you might be able to imagine. Um, and I was exhausted. Um, and she had pretty much lost her ability to speak. And she kept grunting at me to try to tell me something. And I was getting more and more and more frustrated because I could not figure out what she wanted. And in that moment of great frustration, I yelled at her. And then I yelled at myself for another, I don't know how many years. Obviously, yelling at her was not the choice I wanted to make. It's the choice I chose to make, but it's not the one that I felt good about. But it happened. It happened. And so I have come to a point of recognizing that it's more helpful to talk to myself as I would a friend. Okay, let's look at this from a friend's point of view. I'm looking at somebody who is scared out of their mind because their daughter's dying. They're exhausted. They've not done any self care for a long period of time. And they just had too much stress bottled up, and it came out in the form of yelling. And it doesn't mean that I don't love my daughter and that I didn't love her in that moment. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person because I got angry or frustrated, or that even that I release that on somebody else. It just means I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. And it happens. And what I have learned from that scenario is, first of all, forgive myself. Second of all, don't allow myself to get that fatigued to the extent that I'm able. So, my encouragement to you all is forgive yourself, give yourself grace, talk to yourself like a friend, recognize that you're not the only woman in the world who has ever done something that they wish they had done differently towards their kids. I shared an episode recently on my YouTube channel. It's called Give Yourself Grace Overcoming Condemnation. And it talks about how everybody kind of universally, every mom rather, that I've encountered universally feels that shame. And what I'm coming to recognize more and more with all of my learning these days from every angle, really, I'm very much about helping women find useful alternative medicine methods to heal themselves. And I enjoy digging into spirituality. And what I keep coming up with, and I'm going to write a course on it, is how shame ties those two things together. Meaning, even though okay, the two things it ties together, it ties together a lack of health and a feeling of separation from God. And even though we might think that we're not dealing with any shame because we've stuffed it so far down and we ignore it, we pretend it's not there. Our body knows better. And there's tons of studies around this. Um, I'll share over time. The one that's popping in my head right now is um, from a book called The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate. And he talks about how women are above and beyond more likely to have autoimmune disease than men across the board, and that has expanded exponentially in the last few decades to a point that it's alarming. And in some countries, only for women. If our body is keeping score, if our body is demonstrating to us what's going on internally, autoimmune disease is nothing more than your body is attacking itself. Raise your hand if, as a woman, your thoughts at some point during the day, if not often throughout the day, say horrible things to you. The less of that, getting to the root of that, the less you have of that, the more inclined your body is going to be to respond with, okay, this is a safe environment and I can stop demonstrating that it's not safe because it is safe. I love this environment. I know that probably sounds a little woo woo, but let's look at it from this point of view. Emotions have, in lots of cases, been shown to be connected to certain ailments, and they know scientifically across the board that stress is the number one cause of most diseases. So, examples of some emotions that connect with ailments that all of us are pretty much in agreement with. Somebody has an ulcer, they worry too much. Somebody's got a migraine, they're stressed about something. They're upset, they're angry, whatever. Um, what are some other examples? Lower back pain. You've got lower back pain, you're also dealing with some kind of stress. And I'm not making this stuff up. There's tons of research on it. So, regardless of your motivation, if you are feeling shame and you want to improve your health, or you want to improve your relationships, or you want to improve your finances, all of that's going to tie to your emotions, all of it. Each week, I will step out of the box and share something and refuse to be judged for it because I recognize I'm always doing my best. And that's always been true for all of us. Always doing our best. So give yourself grace. Make it a great day.